116s. We've got it down to 161.08s, currently trading at the present moment. And with regard to the oil, it was a case of just buying into some nice oil. We had some very, very obvious stories evolving from the crack spread to be long oil into the numbers. And we just sat back and thought of Britain as the market exploded north, making us a very, very quick $1,000 a contract inside of 60 seconds. And that was that. Pretty straightforward stuff, guys. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, why were we long oil in the first place? Well, it all comes down very, very simply to the crack spread, of course. We see from the crack spread that the only trade we could be doing is buying oil, right? So based on our crack spread narrative, we're very, very definitely inclined to be taking advantage of these two little golden nuggets. And, you know, from those crack spread golden nuggets comes a bit of a bottom edge. We'd already hit target, remember, on this oil. For that huge sell-off from 103.90s down to a low price of 101. So we were already to the tune $2,000 plus change better off on that trade. So there's going to be an unwind regardless. And when we're getting these opportunities to buy into these low prints, and I'm seeing, you know, a possible pop on this, you can see it's come back to the toxic seller that came in just here. And that's exactly where I walked away from that trade for $1,000. Perfect. And we go back to the drawing board and wait for a new piece of information. 60 seconds worth of a buy side pop. And all we had to do was be in it. Simple as that. Great trade, lovely outcome. We got a sell-off again coming away from our bond top edge. We like this trade a little bit, not a lot, but we like it a little bit. And with the shape developing in our favor here, it was worthwhile twice now selling into this higher print. And the first trade gave us a profit and a scratch, and then the second trade's given us a profit so far. So we're in pretty good shape. Again, we can't lose money on it, which is always a good thing. And if it breaks, it breaks. If it doesn't, no, so be it. We'll scratch out and we'll take a +1 on it. So we are in pole position for another winning trade outcome. And that's all we can ever do, guys, is get those winning trade outcomes going for us. Equities feeling as if they're a little bit extended. So I am interested in working against a little bit of a sell limit coming back against those areas. And that's what I've done a couple of times there. I've sold some 73s and I sold some 72 quarters. It's just aggressively dropped down to 70 there. So if anybody joined in, apologies for being a few seconds too late there to get you that information. But we've just been selling some 73s, 72 halves. And we just saw, literally, as I was mentioning it, a drive down to 70 for 10 ticks. And for us, of course, a stop at break even on the trade. For you guys, obviously, you've probably missed out on the opportunity to take the deal on. But that's okay. There might be more opportunities. There might be another opportunity to go again. Starting to, in my opinion, was just starting to look a little bit exposed to a bit of a sell coming in. And that's why I sold into this current higher price. A little bit of value developing into this. Not a lot of value, but a little bit of value developing into this. But, you know, the value we've got to be mindful of. So when I'm seeing this developing here, you know, I'm obviously thinking to myself, well, we should be able to recognize at least some sell pressure coming in off the highs. The gamma, well, the problem is the gamma is still positive now so far. The gamma has been positive for a while. I did tweet it out for anybody. And from that positive gamma, of course, we've been able to, be very, very careful with the sell trade opportunities into these highs. That sell trade's did okay, and we've scratched out at +1 in the remainder of that trade. But I am now looking at this as a possible play on the short side. I will be watching to see if we get a little bit more from it, into this balance area proper. I still haven't really seen any sell book coming in behind this, and that's what I'm kind of waiting for just now, is a little bit of a sell book. And if I see a little bit of a sell book, probably around about the 75 coming in and really holding, then we'll no doubt take a punt against that 75 sell. So let's see if we get any sell book coming in behind the 75s. Looking for a little refreshed order flow coming back in behind the 75s. We've traded a high price of 4 3/4. Now trading 3.5, guys. Boom, straight into the money. Straight into the money, guys. Who's with me? Who's with me? Stops at break even, guys. Stops at break even. And that was pretty straightforward, wasn't it? Pretty straightforward. Okay, that was quite fast, but again, we can show you what the trade was. This was the trade just setting up here, and popped it into NinjaTrader so we could show you what we were trying to do. You can see there's a big liquidity coming in at 75s here. You see that big liquidity at 75 print, and that's what we're obviously paying very, very close attention to. You see some nice big block orders coming in here, some nice refreshed order book coming in behind that trade at 74 halves, and that was certainly my trade. And with a sweep trying to get the trade on, and then a very, very easy kind of sell away from this, giving us a quick stop at break even. And again, they've just come back up and reswept it, so we've gone back in again, and we're just getting the 75 sweep out the way, which is exactly what we would have expected the first time round, but that never happened. So just getting another little opportunity to do same bit of business, and again another easy stop at break even on that sell trade as well. So a little bit of a short position. It's looking okay, nothing bad about it. Gamma's still relatively neutral at the moment, so certainly not as bullish as it was earlier. And an excuse, basically, an excuse to maybe try a few little sell trades just to see if this level's of any use to us, because obviously the level's not the best of levels. I mean, it really doesn't mean an awful lot. We've already got through the change of behavior in the background here, so it's one of those levels that doesn't really mean much. It's about just making sure that we don't get trampled by a bit of a runaway or trying to get into the top edges of 84s, 85s for the afternoon session. Very, very bullish, of course, if it were to do that. So quite happy with what I'm seeing. Happy to be in, happy to come out, happy to shake it all about. The gamma line is a little bit more bullish than I'd like to see it at the present moment, so just watching for that to switch off, and happy to keep joining in on the short side, making a quick scalp trade and getting off the trade when I see it turning back up again, and then just simply just keep working it just now. That's all I'm doing. I'm literally in on occasions for about 20-30 seconds, and then I'm getting a +1, and then I'm coming back in again for another 20-30 seconds, and then I'm taking another +1. Just taking some scalp profits out of the trade. And as I said, it's grubby. Grubby but doable. Grubby but doable. Certainly not getting involved in swings at this stage. Not a chance. No siree, Bobby O.